we're playing for more than just the title. We're playing for everything. We're playing for each other. We're playing for Leaf, man. Everyone that's been putting work in the coaching staff, the fans, and yeah, I want to help them get that third piece, that third title, because it's just a generational run right now, man.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview, this time covering VCT Americas Stage 2 for the regular season. My guest at this time is BABYBAY of G2 Esports, this time coming off of their match against Cloud9, in which they came out victorious, winning 2-0 to thus finish their regular season with a 4-1 record, and also, most importantly, finishing with a second seed in their respective group. And so, BABYBAY, thank you so much for the opportunity. And, first and foremost, I want to ask you about the match itself. And, this is regular season C9, so obviously the power levels from that opposing side was much higher in relation to the other opponents. So what's it like for you to take down this team and finishing this season on a high?
Honestly, it's just everything's just been so surreal, right? I mean, going what do we go 4-1 or 5-1? I don't know what the record is now. 4-1, yeah. Opening game against Sen as well. Like that was a tough one. Obviously, I think if we had more time, we probably would have flipped that. But yeah, it's been just an insane experience. I mean, just being slotted in like that, straight into the fire after not playing for so long, and I couldn't have asked for a better group of guys to kind of like get me back into the swing of things, right? I mean, they are the best. Like that is what it is. They've been the best on top. Look at the points. Already qualified for champions. That relieves a lot of the pressure. For sure. But in terms of Cloud9, I think that, I mean, I like the players on that team. I like the roster they have. We were just the better team today, man. Honestly, I felt like we were in control of that series from start to finish. I think they put up a little bit of a good fight on that Ascent defense, but that's just the nature of the map when people are running double Senti nowadays. But yeah, strong starts. I'm feeling more and more comfortable every single match I'm up on that stage, man, and I think it's showing in my play.
He definitely popped off on the Chamber, which is another match or another match in which you definitely distinguish yourself as one of the the top players for your respective team. Talk to me about how effective you are with that agent, and with the right tools in place and the right people surrounding you. What makes you just play so well?
Well, I mean, like I've obviously, like I was studying the game, for the entire time I wasn't playing, right? I've been doing casting work and analyst desk work, so like I kind of know how the comp should be ran. And like I'm able to put that into like my own strengths as like a really I don't want to call myself a really good opper, but I was an op player back on phase, right? Like I bought the op a lot and I was a menace with it. So just combining the two, I think, is really good. And then obviously I have some of the highest IQ players, and Josh, Anders, and Shaq as well, to like help out even more with strategy, to make sure that we have good game plans and putting us in the right spots. And then we have Trent, who's like just really aware. Everyone helps out in a certain way with the compositions, and yeah, they set me up for success a lot. It's really enjoyable to play. I mean, honestly.
That said, obviously, like, and you mentioned about you last competing with FaZe Clan a few years ago, and from that point on, you dived into the broadcasting scene for this league, and so I want to ask you, given that now you've had a pretty sizable amount of reps under your belt in your current sim with G2, how much have you had to change for yourself as a player, just having to go from what you were back then to now? And do you feel like you had to change a lot for yourself, given the changing of the times and the new types of players that you're with?
I think that the major change from the difference of when I was playing before and playing now was I at a certain point knew that FaZe wasn't going to be making the league. So I think once that happened, it kind of just put my mental in a pretty like shot state, and I think I finally, for once in esports, experienced what burnout was, and I kind of just fell out of love with the game. I think if anybody was watching my streams like 2 years ago, you could tell that I was just complaining a ton, just even in ranked, which doesn't even matter when you're already signed and making money, right? And then you pair that with like not getting trials the first year, and then the second year getting trials but not making the teams. Like I think my mental was just in a really bad spot, and if it wasn't for Doug, honestly, like I don't know what I would have done, mental wise, like, and what my purpose would have been. Maybe I would have kept on streaming. I don't know. Maybe I probably would have played tier 2 because I had like some offer from TSM. But like maybe that wasn't meant for me, and clearly it wasn't, right? Because now that I kind of like I'm back into things because of G2 and them like taking this like chance on me, because of the unfortunate circumstances they have to go through. I just feel like reinvigorated, man. Like I'm like hungry, like I'm playing the game, I'm grinding it, I'm enjoying every little detail of the process, and I think it's really cool to see what these guys have built here, and like being a part of that, because like we've all watched like their entire span. I got to play against it, dude. Like I
Mhm.
knew how annoying it was when they would counter me, bro. Being a part of that process now is like extremely special, man. And I even saw Josh post a tweet about like the 2-year stat thing. You could add it
Mhm.
in whatever in the
Yeah.
post if you want. And just like the fact that like he had these goals and he's hitting them, it's just like it's so motivational, man. And it's like I'm just so proud of them, and proud of the boys as well for kind of like taking like a really unfortunate situation for them with like losing Leaf and like welcoming me so openly. uh, this doesn't happen, every day on teams. Like I could have easily just been an outlier. They could have been like, "Nah, why the hell is this guy playing with us?" And they've been everything but that. They've been so gracious, man. And yeah, this is a really good group of guys. Like if you guys aren't fans of them yet, you guys need to be fans because they have something very special, man.
This, as you kind of mentioned near the end of your answer right there, we've seen, this core, this G2 / guard core from its infancy, 2022 up until this current moment in time. And, yourself, you had the chance to view them as a viewer, fan, maybe content
Celebrating,
creator,
bro.
like broadcaster,
Bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm fans of every single one of them, including Josh. Like so cool.
Yeah, and and now as a player, and is there a difference for you in looking at them as like a broadcast talent to like and analyzing their play and actually working with them in as a player? Is there a difference, or do you feel like it's just a seamless kind of thing for you?
So the cool thing about like the way that G2 structures things is like they make it pretty seamless, and they ask a ton of like, yo, are you comfortable here? What are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with? Like we can really mold around you and stuff like that. And my answer to that has always been like, no, like I don't like, okay, maybe sometimes you can mold around me, but I don't want that to be. I don't want you guys creating like an entire new identity just because you have like me on the roster, even though maybe it does make sense. And obviously they still do it anyway, in certain spots because like I'm weaker in some spots than obviously Leaf is, because Leaf is just a phenomenal talent. I got to watch this guy in scrims, unbelievable, man, unbelievable player. But yeah, it was really seamless. I mean, they're all, like I said, they're all a really good group of guys. They welcomed me in, and like if I'm ever uncomfortable with something, like they're not like mad at me or whatever it may be. They give me like really good advice. A lot of the players have played like different roles. Like Jonas played Viper, Leaf has played Viper. They're all giving me different types of advice. They're each good at their own individual things, and I'm able to kind of just like use that and make my own game. Because it's not. I'm not meant to be, a one-for-one replacement for Leaf. Everyone knows that was never going to be the case, right? It's the other things that I can bring into the squad, in terms of keeping everybody stable, the mental in check, and honestly, they have all had to level up because of that too, and they have. They've answered they've answered the call for themselves, and I think that all four of them, even Leaf included, um, have leveled up substantially, man. Like it's so awesome to watch it.
So far in stage two, there's been an ongoing narrative about your inclusion to the team in the sense that like you are the virus machine. There's no doubt about that. You've been bringing new life to this G2 squad at a times in which for some critical moments earlier on in the year, they weren't able to embrace that side, and as a result, it kind of like led to unwanting results. And I've had the chance to talk to plenty of teammates and even Josh last week about your inclusion, and they've been upfront about your significance to the team. And
Mhm.
I remember I want to say this quote again. Johnny P mentioned about you being a better Zelsis. So, what are your thoughts about that aspect? Do you feel like you basically given new life to G2 with your presence and the like?
I mean, it's hard to say, like, because I don't know what would have been if I wasn't here, but I can say that like as much as like they gas me up because I do bring the vibes and everything like that, they also have to be willing to like accept that, right? Like I said earlier. So like the fact that they're just so cool about everything, even though the circumstances, like it would break a lot of teams, man. You know, like imagine MIBR lost Osboss or something like that. You know what I mean? Like imagine, bro, how those players are gonna feel, dude. Like, but like they're all open to it and they understand that, like, okay, Nate is gone, right, for now. We're gonna have to hold this down regardless. Like it, and they stepped up to the plate, like I've been saying, like, dude, if they weren't so willing to, you know, be accepting to a new player because of whatever happened, like I wouldn't have been able to come in and help them in terms of like the mentality and how to be positive. Because the cool thing is now is like they all see how important the mental aspect is from the game, and it's not just like keeping your team vibe good, but also like taunting the enemy team, dude. Like you could shut players down completely. Like these players are getting nervous. I'm seeing it in real time, dude. Like I'm literally looking at their faces. I mean, like I'm not even gonna give examples, but like I see it. You know what I mean? Like, and you could feel it in the server too. You know, when you have these big moments, and it sounds so stupid. It's so cringe just standing up. You know, but I mean, like, dude, back when I was playing some of these lands, bro, we played across from the other players, so you would literally be like right next to them, dude. And like, if they saw you popping off, anyways, like the showmanship is a big part of gaming in itself, and I think it's like something that VCT has been missing for quite some time. I know Boostio did it a little bit, but it felt, in my opinion, kind of forced. And for me, it's just natural, dude. Like I played hockey, I shit talked all the time. You know what I mean? Like this is just, it's just me. It's just who I am. Like I don't have to try. You know, like I'm not forcing anything. And I also have ironclad mental. Like you're not gonna get in my head either. So it's like, you know, I think all of them are learning the same shit. You know, excuse me my
Yeah.
swearing. And man, I just like they're just gonna be for years. They're really creating a dynasty over here, man. They're just creating a dynasty over here. Promise
And
you
man,
that.
it's what happens when you say when you bust out the nene on stage. You know, it brings out like a different effect. You know, the kind of effects that you want to see out of your opponents. But
Yeah.
one more question I got one more question to ask you before I wrap this up. Earlier on in the media day press conference before the start of this entire stage 2 regular season, Valen mentioned about how, you know, the primary goal for this G2 squad is to give you get you that domestic title. And you know, as you now begin the journey to playoffs, you know, what are your thoughts on that possibility? You know, are you that very motivated to get that VCT Americas crown?
I think it's just the craziest story of all time, and I actually didn't even know that he said that. So that's like that's even more encouraging, man. This is what I'm saying. Like these group of guys are just all of them, man. They're winners, bro. They're winners, and I don't want to let them down, you know. And like they of course like don't want to let they don't want to let me down, or even we as a team don't want to let Nate down, right? Leaf, we don't want to let him down either. So we're playing for more than just the title. We're playing for everything. We're playing for each other. We're playing for Leaf, man. Everyone that's been putting work in the coaching staff, the fans, you know, and yeah, I want to help them get that third piece, that third title, because it's just a generational run right now, man. That's it, generational run, bro.
And hopefully
And then
such
champs,
a
baby. And then champs.
yeah,
Need that one too.
of course, and hopefully that run can continue into playoffs and all and everything else after that. Baby Bay, thank you so much for the opportunity for the interview. Your answers, I really do appreciate it. And of course,
Thank
best
you,
of
man.
luck to yourself and the rest of the squad for playoffs in the future.
I appreciate you, Pedro, bro. Let it be known, you were one of the first people to interview me when I switched over to talent. People need to go look back at that interview because you were asking me if I was gonna want to go back to play now, and now we're doing the interview as I'm a player, bro. That is so dope, man.
That's the beauty of Valorant, man. The beauty of esports,
Yeah,
right then and there. All right, thank you so
amazing.
much.